It's been a tough start to the 2025 cycling season. Nothing has gone according to plan. Our goal this year was to participate in the most ambitious randoneering event of our short cycling careers. That is the 2025 London-Edinburgh-London Grand Randonnée in August of this year. This is a 1,500 kilometer ride along the length of Britain with 2,500 other cyclists from more than 54 countries across the world. Undoubtedly, this will be the most ambitious ride of our short randoneering careers, and we were super excited. We were granted entries way back in November of 2023, and we have been planning and training for this event for more than 18 months by now. We had planned our travel to the event, our accommodation, and the location of our drop bags, and more importantly, we had planned our training down to the T. We had just completed a solid block of indoor training over the 2024 to 2025 Canadian winter. All of it completed indoors on the Zwift training platform because living in Saskatchewan can be a challenge for cyclists, with temperatures for more than 7 months of the year below freezing and with snow piled up to the knee.
I have done 5.5 hours of riding, 163 kilometers. 5.5 hours, 163 kilometers.
And how's the pressure points, your hands, your feet and your butt?
That is my pressure points, my hands, my feet and my tush. Okay, you know, I have to keep changing positions, standing, and it does help a little bit. But yeah, just keep pedaling, that's all, you know, just keep pedaling.
After a solid block of online winter training, we set off on our very first outdoor ride of the season in mid-April. This was a 200-kilometer brevet on an out and back course. It was chilly at the start, and during the course of the day, the temperature just crept above the freezing mark.
Congratulations, babe. So this is your day one?
It's my first day of my preparation for LEL. My 200 kilometers brevet to bigger and back.
This is Jermaine's first 200 kilometers. It's the first ride of her preparations for LEL. It's now the 11th of April. It's early in the year for us. We still have lots of snow on the ground. It's cold, and yeah, but this is the first time we can actually get out and actually do a first brevet. It's probably about 2 degrees Celsius at the moment. It feels like -5 with the wind chill. We still have lots of ice on the road, and yeah, it makes it a really chilly morning, but I think that's good training for LEL because we know that there's going to be some really cold sections. You can see we're really well bundled up, lots of layers, puffy jackets, reflectors, all set for the cold, and yeah, but still optimistic. Hopefully it's going to be good.
We rode with 3 other club members, that is Carlo, John and Jonelle. They were all well prepared for the ride with a similar virtual training block over the winter. However, it soon became clear that not all was well with Jermaine. Although she comfortably kept up with the other riders, she did not display her usual zip on the bicycle. She would often drop off the back of the group with even minor changes in wind direction and a change in the pace of the group. This was a signal that not all was well. She had difficulty eating at the controls, and this was a clear indication that she would not have the energy to complete the ride. At the turnaround point, she managed to eat half a Subway foot-long sandwich with some difficulty.
What did you say?
It was really hard. I found it really difficult today. One of my worst 200s, I think. I struggled from start to finish. Just didn't have the energy today. Probably didn't eat enough yesterday.
And when you had your Subway, did that make a difference? Did it help?
It made a difference a bit, but I think I needed to do a bit of carb loading the day before.
Yeah.
I think I didn't eat enough this past week.
Yeah.
And I know when I take some Coke or some juice or something, I immediately have a burst of energy. So I know it's an energy thing that's lacking, and therefore it just means I'm not feeding properly. So that's one of the most important things I really have to figure out, because it's not I'm tired. It just have nothing to. The tank is empty, basically. The tank is empty.
On our way back, we had a cross-tailwind all the way back to the city. However, Jermaine was not able to take advantage of this, even with this minor wind concession. She continued to struggle on, stopping frequently to rest in the final kilometers of the ride. This was very similar to the difficulty she previously experienced in her preparation for the Paris-Brest-Paris ride in 2022. I could see the disappointment on her face. Her expectation of a strong ride had evaporated, and all she was trying to do was survive. She did complete the ride, but was bitterly disappointed with her performance. We had a chat about how she felt after the ride. It became clear that she had some form of gastric distress and was not able to eat enough to fuel her ride. We discussed strategies on how to overcome this challenge and came up with the following plan. We agreed to, first of all, eat a substantial carbohydrate meal in the days leading up to the next ride, to eat a meal at the start of the ride, avoid sugary drinks immediately before getting to a control point, as this may suppress her appetite. We committed to eat first at the control points before drinking any fluids so as to optimize stomach space. So with this strategy in mind, we decided to tackle our second brevet of the year. Our second brevet was a 300-kilometer brevet about 2 weeks later. It had an even earlier start and was colder than the previous brevet. So this time we were truly bundled up with jackets and pants, long-fingered gloves, and with buffs across our faces. We were once again joined by our friend Janelle and another experienced randonneer called Joy, who had ridden with us many times previously. Janelle set off at a cracking pace, and we did not see him again for the duration of the ride. Joy rode more sedately with Jermaine and I. I continued to monitor Jermaine's fueling, and she appeared to be following the plan. This equated to a slightly better riding pace and a bit more zip in her stride. While we do not have elevation to contend with on the prairies, we do have the wind, and the wind gives us the prairie mountains. However, the wind is not always consistent in its direction. We had a cross-tailwind for most of the way north from our starting point. At the turnaround point, it became clear we were going to be challenged by a substantial headwind on our return leg.
How are you doing?
I'm exhausted. The wind. It's like climbing a big hill. Relentless. Just not stopping. It's really tough. I just need a few minutes.
Tell me, what are you doing today?
I'm doing a 300. The first part was quite good. A nice tempo. But of course, now we have a crosswind headwind.
It was about this point that Jermaine advised me that she was experiencing pain on the outer portion of her right knee. The knee was painful each time she flexed the knee. She felt that the long cycling pants that she was wearing was placing way too much pressure on the knee and causing pain. With each revolution of the pedals, the pain intensified, and eventually we had to stop, purchase a pair of scissors, and cut away the long pants from applying any further pressure onto the right knee. But by the time we did this, it was too late. She already had an area of redness and swelling on the outer portion of the right knee, and gently touching the knee caused significant pain. The location of the pain was consistent with a condition called iliotibial band friction syndrome. Now, this occurs when the long fibrous band that extends from the outer portion of the hip down to the knee is pressed against the bone on the side of the knee and causes inflammation of the tissues between the band and the bone. We suspected that the following combination of conditions had probably contributed to the inflammation. Firstly, the tight pants leg compressed the band against the bone, injuring the underlying soft tissues. Secondly, her saddle was way too low, and this caused excessive knee flexion, which increased the opportunity for the band to compress against the soft tissues at the knee. And thirdly, that the resistance caused by the strong headwind may have placed excessive force on the knees during the ride. By removing the compressive closing and raising the saddle height, we were able to relieve most of the pain. But unfortunately, it appears that the damage to the knee had already been done.
I'm so pleased you don't have anything.
Nothing. Just take your jacket off.
The knee pain deteriorated despite our efforts to reduce the stress at the knee. And at just 10 kilometers to complete the ride, Jermaine ground to a halt. We slowed down completely, using just the remaining leg to pedal slowly to the end. We did complete the ride, but her confidence was shattered. The first two brevets were fraught with problems, and it did not appear that we would be able to adhere to the tight schedule that we had prepared for our preparation for the LEL. While the fueling issue appears to have been resolved, this injury appears to be much more serious, and even with the best planning, if we cannot train, then successful completion of the LEL is very unlikely. We intend to ride a 400-kilometer brevet this weekend, on which the video is being released. It is super optimistic given the difficulties we've experienced so far, but our training schedule is tight and we don't have much time to procrastinate or recover. Is our dream of participating in the LEL over even before the season begins? I will keep you updated as to our progress or lack thereof. Let me know in the comments below what your goals are for the 2025 cycling season and how your training is progressing. Is it all lights green for your training, Or are you also struggling to overcome hurdles? Please remember to like and subscribe. And until the next time we meet, please ride safely.